Todd Let's 99, and for today's episode of Todd's and Talk, I've brought my friend Tommy.
Hello.
And today we will be arguing who's the better point guard, Russell Westbrook or Kyrie Irving. I personally believe that Kyrie Irving is the better point guard, and Tommy thinks that it's Russell Westbrook. To start my argument off, I say I have that Kyrie Irving is averaging 23.4 points as Westbrook is only averaging 22.9. And his field goal percentage and three-point percentage are better. His three-point percentage is better by a lot more.
And my argument is that while Kyrie may have a higher points per game average, Russell Westbrook is putting up 0.5 less, and half a point is not going to affect an NBA game. Another thing that I want to point out is Russell Westbrook is averaging 7.2 more rebound, 6.9 more rebounds than Kyrie, and he's also averaging 3.6 more assists, which is probably leading to more points than what Kyrie is doing.
This is true, and Westbrook also gets more steals than Kyrie, but Kyrie also gets more blocks. I also feel that Westbrook is kind of a stat paddle, and he cares a bit more about stats now that Kevin Durant has left. And also want to point out that Kyrie Irving's free throw percentage is 86.8, while Westbrook's is only 65, which is a lot by a landslide.
I would like to go over and point out the fact that I would like to point out the fact that steals are generally going to lead to more points than turnovers. So sure, Kyrie is leading in turnovers, but for every steal is generally more guaranteed some points. A turnover can be anything from a ball going out of bounds, so that's a more wide variety, which doesn't always indicate points. And in the grand scheme of things, if you want to win games, you gotta score points.
Well, this is true. Westbrook has been a 6-time All-Star while only being in the league for 7 years, while Westbrook has been a 8-time All-Star while being in the year for 10 seasons, which indicates that he has missed out on an All-Star for 2 years, while Kyrie has only missed out on being an All-Star for 1 year.
Currently, Westbrook leads the league in assists per game. Kyrie is ranking 13th among all players. He's ranking 13th, and if you want to score points, you got to be able to pass the ball to other people.
This is true, and Kyrie Irving is probably faster. This isn't a fact. I'm saying this because he is 7 pounds lighter than Westbrook, which also gives Westbrook an edge to getting rebounds because he could be a bit bigger, and he's only reason he's a point guard is because he's not amazing at shooting. And I also want to point out that Kyrie Irving is only entering his prime and is in the debate to be better than Westbrook, as Westbrook is in the middle of his prime, getting almost to the point where he's out of it.
But you could debate the fact that, let's go down to see, how old is he? Okay.
Westbrook is 30 years old as of right now.
As of right now, Kyrie is 26. So, where's his points? Field goal, okay, points per game. He's averaging 28.1 so Russell Westbrook is averaging 28.1 points in this current in the season that Kyrie Irving is in right now, and that is a little under 5 points more than what Kyrie Irving is averaging right now.
This is all true, but this is a that's kind of a hypothetical to compare them at that time, because the league could have been very different, because there's a lot of young stars who are really tearing up the league, like Tatum and Doncic, who are just going on a rampage. The league was much different 4 years ago. But you are correct at the same age. And he was Russell Westbrook did not win Rookie of the Year. Well, Kyrie Irving did win the Rookie of the Year when he was a rookie. They were both all rookies on the all-rookie team, though.
Despite having been on a higher ratio of All-Star games, Kyrie Irving has not won a single All-Star MVP, while Russell Westbrook has won 5. Another loop in Russell Westbrook's belt is the fact that Russell Westbrook is the 2016-2017 MVP. While Kyrie Irving has won a championship recently, he hasn't been MVP recently.
This is true. And Westbrook has only been in 7-time All-NBA team. Well, Kyrie has been a 6-time All-NBA, meaning Kyrie's only missed it 2 times in his career. Well, Westbrook has missed it 3 times, and Kyrie has nearly tied and taken over him. I also want to point out, in Kyrie Irving's whole career, he has a efficiency rating of 52.5, and Westbrook only has a 46.4 in his whole career. And this season alone, Westbrook only has a 46.3, while Kyrie's efficiency rating for this year is 56.6, which, let me check, might be his most of in a season.
It's barely isn't. It's barely second to last year in Boston, which he averaged just 0.002% better. 2% better.
Honestly, he could overtake by the end of the season.
Yes. But going back to let's go back to career stats. Let's see. Russell Westbrook has 0.9 more points than Kyrie in career, and this is points per game, mind you. So that wouldn't be impacted by career. Total rebounds, Kyrie Irving has 3.6 less rebounds.
This is true, but however, Westbrook, as I said earlier, might be a bit bigger, which gives him a better opportunity. And I personally think Westbrook is a stat pattern, personally.
Just because you're a stat pattern doesn't mean you're not a bad player.
I agree. I think Westbrook's a great player and is a top point guard and will finish as a top 20 player all time. I just feel like he's a stat pattern. I don't really like people who just want to pad for stats.
Well, that's personal opinion, so
that is my personal opinion. So I'm not really I'm not trying to use it too much in this argument, but that is my opinion.
Mhm. So let's see here. So your player efficiency rating is Westbrook is at 23.7. His average player efficiency rating is 23.7, and which is 1.6 better than Kyrie's over his career. Again, that isn't affected, but just because Russell Westbrook has been in the league more doesn't affect that.
This is true, but 1.6 isn't a ton, and
1 point is enough to win a game.
It is, but then if we look back here, that would also go in here that
0.5 points
is almost about a point and could also end up winning the game, as he averages 23 if they're going up against a game, and Russell is at 22 points at his average, and the Thunder are up by 2, and then Kyrie is at 20 and he hits his 3 to get him to the 23 average. That could win him a game. Which it's a very hypothetical question.
Very hypothetical.
Very hypothetical, yes, but it could be true. And then if you look, Westbrook has 3 more assists, which he does. but also Westbrook has a MVP candidate teammate. Well, Kyrie's doesn't, and Kyrie still gets 7 assists per game, which is 7 assists is still very good.
Well, he does have veterans surrounded. He is surrounded by veterans and young stars. For example, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown.
That is correct, but do they all contribute as much as Paul George does when he could take that MVP award? I feel like still Paul George would up that, and he also has almost an all-star snub with Steven Adams, and they have a few other veterans as well, and a young player in what's his name? He was in the dunk contest. Hamidou Diallo. So,
well, that is true. Let's see. 3-point percentage. Well, so yes, Kyrie may have. I'll accept it. Kyrie has better percentages, but percentages are only going to get you so far in life. If Russell Westbrook is averaging more points than you per game in his career, that's going to give you then you're going to win more games than I'm better at I'm a better shooter. Doesn't give you anything if you're losing games.
This is true, but the Celtics aren't losing too many games. I feel like
as are the Thunder, so that's a terrible argument.
I know, but also Kyrie isn't losing very many games. So saying he's a better shooter doesn't. That argument, it's a valid argument, but not really because Kyrie's not losing games. And I also want to state that Kyrie's win shares, he's contributed in his career is 57, while Westbrook's is 94.9. But let alone, Westbrook had been by himself and led an OKC team for a year and has been the first option for many years and has played 2 more seasons than Kyrie Irving.
Okay,
and then
so
this season, his win share, Kyrie's is 7.7, but this year Westbrook's is only 4.7.
Okay, so let's go to average. Let's get this win share average. So how many seasons has Westbrook been in the league?
Westbrook has been in the league for 10 years.
Westbrook's been in the league 10 years, okay? So so we're going to 94.9.
I don't think it was 0.9, was it?
Yeah, it was.
I just wanted to double check.
Okay.
You're right, it was 0.9.
94.9 divided by 10.
You took out the 9.
Oh, crap, okay. 9 divided by 10 equals 9.4, okay? So that's 9. So on average, he gets 9.4.
I'll round it up to 9.5. I'll give it to a 9.5.
Okay, so 57. Now 57 divided by what? How many seasons has Kyrie been in the league?
Kyrie's been in the league for 8 years. I want to double check that just to be made sure.
One second. Kyrie has been
in the league for 7 years.
7 years.
I think I've been saying 8 years. It's only been 7.
That's 8.1. So
this is true, but for most of Kyrie's season, he has played with LeBron James, who is known to be hitting the big shots and game winners.
Game 7, coming back from a 3-1 lead.
Kyrie did hit that big shot, but these stats don't include playoffs. These are just regular season stats. Mm-hmm. And LeBron has been known to hit a lot of important shots. Yes, Kyrie has hit his share and has been very important, and the Cavs would not have won the championship in 2016 without him, which is another point, is LeBron would not have brought Cleveland a championship if he had not had Kyrie to help him.
Yes, that is true. Okay, I will accept that. But let's look back at Russell Westbrook. So He's put up MVP numbers almost every season. A lot of his career, starting at 2014 and on, he's put up MVP numbers. Kyrie, since how many years into his career?
Since about 2015.
Since 2015, so that's 4
about
years.
The same time.
Since for 4
about
years.
the same time they started becoming like MVP players, like people would consider being them candidates. About the same time.
Mhm.
Which shows that Russell was a late bloomer, and it took him a while to get to the point. Well, Kyrie was able to get to that point younger, which means he could be at that point for longer in his career, which could help to prove that he will show that he is the better player.
While that may be true, just because somebody's a late bloomer doesn't mean that they're going to turn out to be a worse player.
I know, I know, but it could help. But again, maybe Kyrie will get snubbed, or maybe Giannis will beat him out, or Ben Simmons, or Luka Doncic, or Kristaps. Like, there are so many players that could end up beating Kyrie out. I feel like Kyrie will either end up with 1 or 2 MVPs in his career. I feel like Westbrook's either going to have his 1 and he might win another, but I don't see him winning more than 2.
That's very hypothetical. Don't use that.
It is hypothetical.
Just out of advice, just future advice, don't use hypothetical arguments in a debate. It doesn't work. Just advice. Okay? Do you mind?
No.
Just to let you know. Just
okay.
It'll help. Okay. So rookie stats, while it is great that Kyrie Irving did all these great things as a rookie, he was rookie of the year, he was all rookie team, he did all these great things as a rookie. While it may be true, what else was in his class? Who else was in his draft class?
Let's look at it. What year was he drafted?
What year was he drafted?
He was drafted in 2011. So it's right there.
Okay.
So let's look. 2011 draft class. If I'm not mistaken, this was one that was a very good draft class, I believe.
Well, it was for the NBA, for NFL. That was really good. And JJ Watt. Sorry, getting off topic.
There was Kyrie Irving. Derek Williams was iffy. Ennis Canel
was iffy. Tristan Thompson, iffy. Jonas Valanciunas.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good.
Kemba Walker, I want to point out.
Kemba.
Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard.
Vucevic.
Who's having an insane season, I want to point out.
But
Tobias Harris, who's a top player.
Time out. How many of these players did good in their rookie season, though? Let's pay attention to that point.
We will look into that after we look at Westbrook's draft class.
Okay.
You were right. I was getting a bit ahead of myself.
2007, I think.
It was 2008, I thought. Yeah, 2008.
Sorry.
That's fine.
2008 NBA draft class.
NBA draft class.
As you can see, we're very up to date on our research. I apologize.
That's fine. And so
yes.
here,
Derrick
Rose.
Russell
Westbrook, Kevin Love. So that's
Gallinari.
He was kind of iffy at that point.
Robin Lopez. JaVale McGee. Sorry.
Oh, Dan the GOAT.
We're just joking about that. Everybody was concerned. We're just joking. Serge Ibaka.
So, I'll throw him in there. So, it was not amazing. We're looking around DeAndre Jordan. That's why you're looking around too.
Patrick Ewing Jr. Turned out to be nothing. Compared to his father. Nothing.
Compared to any star. So, there was 4, and then I forgot. There's Klay, Kawhi, Kemba, Tobias. Who else was in the 2011 draft class?
Enes Kanter. Iffy.
Jonas Mudan.
Vucevic.
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. Vucevic. The Morris brothers kind of iffy, good bench pieces.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler was in it.
Bojan Bogdanovic.
He was in that one.
Dude, that's awesome.
It is.
I prefer me some Marjanovic. instead.
And then Isaiah Thomas was also in it. So the 2011 draft was a pretty good NBA draft class.
For Kyrie to beat out.
Yeah, but Isaiah Thomas, he's good now. He was not good in his rookie year.
Kemba was he?
Kemba was good. Kawhi was good. Clay was
wasn't.
good.
Clay
was iffy in his rookie year. So you could say that. I think you could say that it
You
was
will call it even. It was
even. I feel like it's like Kyrie had a tougher draft class to beat out. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'll say even. So let me know in the comments who you think won the argument and who you think the better player is. And now it's for the card of the week, and that will be my Dustin Fowler auto out of 275 from Tier 1. I received it in a trade with HS.Cards. You should give him a follow. Very easy to deal with. Highly recommend dealing with him. Thank you for listening, and see you next week.
See ya.